Hey folks, welcome to Chill Mini Painting, where we are back testing out the Army Painter 2.0 Speed Paint. Following up on our first impressions video, we've got some more stuff to try on a model with a little more fine detail. So, today we have a Dragonborn from the same Patreon welcome pack from Artisan Guild. This guy's decked out in armor, so we can try out painting some metallics. He's also got a bit of variety in the leather detail between the fur, the bracers, some straps and belts, and cloth wraps. So we are going to experiment with mixing these paints together to get some different tones. Just like in my first impressions video, I'm sticking to the 10 paints you get with the $50 starting pack. So if you like the results I'm getting today, and you're thinking about trying speed paint for yourself, you don't necessarily need to spring for a big box. You can get some good results with just the base set. Before we get started, I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who has been watching so far. The channel has gotten well over 1,000 views at the time of this video, which I know is just a drop in the bucket for YouTube, but this channel is only 2 weeks old. And to think that like a huge theater full of people have already spent their time tuning into my content is truly humbling. I'm full of gratitude for you all. So thanks for watching, and please like and subscribe if you enjoy the video. Okay folks, let's chill and paint. So as you can see, the model is already dry brushed. I use Vallejo to prime the black, and then I actually use a really cheap hobby gray for the middle tone because the middle tone doesn't really matter a ton. And then again, I come in with Vallejo white primer for the top coat. I'm going to start with my impressions of this Beowulf blue. And just like the other primary colors, I think this really pops and it looks great on top of the dry brush. Something I'm starting to understand with these speed paints is that you really want a solid undercoat because of how translucent the paints are. This blue is awesome. I like it just as much as the red and the green from the rest of the set. And for what it's worth, the purple, which I use sparingly on this model, looks pretty good as well, even though I didn't get any good shots. You can see it at the end. Okay, let's move on to talk about the metallic, the broadsword silver. I was pretty excited to try this. I've got a pretty good technique for doing metallics already. You actually start with painting the model black and then you dry brush on whatever metallic you want to use. So this metallic's going to have to really blow me away if I'm going to use it pretty often. And I have to say, it does a good job of making the armor look like metal by just being able to put the paint on. With the acrylic metallics, I don't think you can just paint them on. You have to do the black and then you dry brush on the metallics afterwards if you want a lifelike finish. But with this metallic, I think it achieves basically what I'm looking for. For the axe on top, that's when I started doing some mixing. So I decided I wanted to try to get kind of a bronze finish. So I mixed in a little bit of red and a little bit of yellow into the metallic paints. For a first attempt, it looks okay, but it's a little bit too maroon for anyone to think that this is bronze. But it still looks pretty good. For all of the different types of leather on the model, I mixed in some different colors to the satchel brown. For the belts and straps, I just left the brown as is and kept it nice and dark. For the bracers and the leather in the front underneath the emblem, I mixed in a little bit of red. I like how the brown and the red mix together. It's still pretty dark, but the light catches the red hue underneath, and it looks great. For the fur, I just used the peachy flesh. We put on a little bit more pallid bone here, which honestly has turned into my favorite color from this starting pack. If you do a good undercoat, the pallid bone looks amazing. And for any bandages and cloths, I used pallid bone and I put in just a drop of satchel brown to try to give it a nice light brown. It still came out a little bit darker than what I was hoping, but it looks fine. For the emblem on the front, I was going to do it in the same bronze that I did with the axe. But since I didn't like it too much, I decided to try and go gold. So you can see me here mixing in the metallic with the zealot yellow, and then a little bit of red as well to see if I can find a gold tone. And honestly, it does look like gold. It doesn't quite have that shiny finish. It looks more like gold in real life when it's not polished, how it's quite dull, but it does look like gold. You can definitely mix in other colors to find other metals. Finally, I decided to do the rock in black because I haven't really tried the black yet. So let's get this Dragonborn standing atop a mountain of obsidian. I like the black quite a bit. Even though it's super dark, you can still see the dry brush come through just a little bit. Makes it feel a little bit more realistic and dynamic. So here's the finished product. I'd say that this model was a success. I had a lot of fun mixing the different browns together to get the different tones from the leathers. And the blue on the skin looks solid with the dry brush underneath. I'm really starting to get the hang of these speed paints, and I'm finding the lines so far to be quite versatile and not as difficult to control as I expected. The model is a touch dark, so it's really begging for me to put in some highlights. Something I like to do with dragons or reptilian skin is to actually highlight in the complementary color. So maybe in a different video, I'll come in with a little bit of yellow for the edge highlighting, in addition to some edge highlighting on the metals as well. If that's something you'd be interested in, I'd love to hear from you, so please comment on the video. And this should come as a surprise to no one, but I'm painting these models lightning fast. I got this from the dry brush to the finished product in less than 90 minutes. So again, thank you for watching. Let me know what you think of the dragon. And if you're enjoying the videos, please like and subscribe. It means a lot to me.